Hello everybody and welcome to a new video for Rydal Penrhos School Chess Club. This video is going to look at how to checkmate an enemy king when you have a queen and a king. I see this situation in many children's games all over the country, and it's amazing how many children don't know what to do, especially the young ones. This is what I see. Check, 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 and so on. And as I've told you many times before, simply checking a king is not going to win you a game. If black is able to keep his king in the middle of the board, then after 50 moves a referee is going to say that this is a draw, because the player with the white pieces is clearly showing that he doesn't know how to checkmate a king. So this video is going to show you how to do it. So let's go back to the beginning and see what we should have done. Now, before we move on to looking how to checkmate, I want you to focus on the black king. He's nicely in the centre of the board. I'm going to highlight one of the squares in green. There it is. It's on D3. I want you to notice that this square is a knight square away from the black king. Because if this was a knight, then this king would be in check. What I would like you to do now is to just pause this video and see if you can find any more squares around this black king that are knight squares away. Once you think you've found them all, start the video again and let's see if you were right. Well, hopefully you did that, and hopefully you've seen that there are several squares around this black king that are a knight square away. Here's another one. On F3, we have G4, G6, F7, D7, C6, and C4. If there was a knight on any of these squares, this black king would now be in check. And that's what I mean by a knight square. I want you to remember that because it's going to come up in a moment. So here we are in our position, and it's white to move, and we are going to try and checkmate this black king. Now, as I've told you many times before, if the black king can stay near the middle of the board, then he cannot lose. It is our job to try and push the king to the edge of the board, and it is very easy to do that if you follow a clear set of rules. It is white's move. The first thing we should do is to put our queen a knight's square away from the king. Now, you've just shown that you can find the knight squares, and we are going to put our queen on one of those now. Now, we have a few to choose from, but I usually go the shortest distance possible. So I'm looking at this move here, and if you follow my mouse, this square is a knight's move away from the king, and is a perfect place for our queen to go. So let's put her there. Notice we have not checked the king. Now we're going to play Follow My Leader, something I'm sure you've played in school before. Whatever black's king does, we are going to copy it. We're going to follow it. So let's look at an example. It's black's move. He's going to try and stay in the middle of the board, but he's got to move, so he's going to go up one square. We're going to play Follow My Leader, so we do exactly the same. We're not checking the king, we're simply following where he goes. The king tries to stay in the middle, so he comes down here, and we do exactly the same. And if you look carefully, the enemy king is now moving slowly away from the centre of the board. This is exactly what we want him to do. Black king goes up one, so we follow the leader. Black king goes up another one, we follow the leader. Black king tries desperately to stay in the middle, we follow the leader. Black king moves up one again, we follow the leader, and look how we're slowly squeezing him to the side of the board. Black king now moves to the edge of the board, and now we have a decision to make. Do we want to let the black king come out? No, we don't. We've got him on the edge of the board. Let's keep him there. So what we have to do is to shut off this rank here. If we can put a queen somewhere on that rank, then this king is trapped on the 8th rank. Now we don't want to go here, because the king will take, and we don't want to go here, because the king will take. So I think our move is to this square here. It's a beautiful square. The queen is trapping the black king. Let's just have a look at what black's king can do. Well, he can move here, he can move here, and of course when he's on one of those two squares, he can go back here. They're the only 3 squares he can go on, and that's fine by us. Let's let the king have his dance. We are going to hold our queen in this position. No need to move her now until the end of the game. What she does need now is help from the king. So it's black's move, so he's just going to dance along these squares, and we march our king up the board. As quickly as you can, take the shortest direction possible, because there's nothing black can do. And what we're looking for is either opposition or near opposition. Here is an example of opposition. There's one square between the king and the queen, between both kings, and it's white's move, and white can now checkmate in one move, and she has a choice. She can either go here, there's a lovely checkmate, and if we just move back, we could also go here, and there is another checkmate. So that is a very clear way of how to checkmate the black king. Okay, here is another situation. This time black is the one with the king and the queen, and so is looking to win. And as we said last time, it's black's move now, and he's going to look for a knight square away from the king. But if you look very carefully, there are no squares that are a knight square away from the white king that are a knight square away that the queen can get to. So what do we do here? Well, it's simple. All you have to do here is play a check. The white king will now move, and pretty much wherever he goes to will give us now a knight square away. And there's one, here's another, there's another one here, and you can choose which one to go to. As I said to you before, the shortest distance is usually the best. We're a knight move away, and now what's the game we're going to play? That's right, follow my leader. So whatever the white king does, we are going to copy. Up one, up one, up one, up one, diagonally, diagonally, up one, up one, up one, up one, diagonally. Remember, the white king does not want to go to the edge of the board, but if we play properly, he has no choice. Up he goes, up he goes. And now we have him on the edge of the board. What we want to do is to shut off this file so that the white king can't get away. And the quickest way to do that in this situation is to put our queen here. And this gives the white king nowhere to go but these 3 green squares indicated. So leave the queen where she is, and now we need to march the black king up the board looking for opposition or near opposition. So white moves, and here he comes. Try and take the shortest route possible, and we're looking to land on the F file. Here we are. We haven't quite got opposition yet, so now we just push up one, king goes here. That's the only square the king has. There's our opposition, and checkmate. There really is no excuse for not winning a game if you have a king and a queen against a single king. You just have to remember the stages. Get your queen a knight square away from the enemy king. Then play follow my leader until the enemy king is on the edge of the board. Once the enemy king is on the edge of the board, shut off the escape file and then leave your queen in place. March your king up to the enemy king, looking for opposition or near opposition, and then once that's in place, deliver the checkmate. If you can remember these moves, you will win far more games in the future. All you have to do now is practice. And the easiest way to do that is to get your chessboard out at home, sit down with one of your parents or a brother, sister, give them a single king, give yourself a king and a queen, and practice until you can do this in your sleep. Trust me, you'll win a lot of games. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you win lots of chess games, and look out for more videos in the very near future. Thank you very much. Goodbye.